is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1, and this is my Friday MOBILETHON. And today we're just going to talk about a variety of things. And to start off with, I'm going to talk about this weird business going on about the book is in the mail. Now, Randy has been ranting and raving on her Facebook account about the fact that a book was sent to Lynn Wood and he hasn't got it yet. And it's been a while. And she came up with this, there's this big conspiracy by the United States government, the United States Postal Service in particular, not to allow Lynn Wood to have a copy of the book. Now, what's interesting about this is this. This is the lawyer for the former president, Donald Trump. And that means that this guy'd have all kinds of connections that he would be able to get a copy of the book if he so wanted to. For one thing, since he's a multimillionaire, he can go on Amazon and buy the one copy of the book that's available for $700 and some odd. Or he could get the Kindle version of the same book for, $2, $3, something like that. He didn't even have to get it sent in the mail. He could have it, as long as it takes for him to confirm the order, it would be sent to his tablet, computer, even his smartphone. So he'd have the book. And I'm pretty sure that one of those many generals out there that apparently have copies of this book would be glad to let him have it. They'd probably be glad to get rid of it. That's if they have it at all. Number one, if the book is worth $800, as Randy claims, there are certain laws in place about accepting gifts from people and what has to be done with those gifts. So an $800 book might be in violation of the law in that regard, and that book may have to be given to the National Archives or something. And there's also the thing that, it's widely believed that Trump doesn't read. He just doesn't have time to read and bother with reading. He likes visual media, multimedia. But that's either here or there. Because the whole thing isn't true anyway. Trump doesn't have a copy of the book, and neither do any generals. It's just another series of lies by these people. But let's get back to this business with the mailing of the book. If you do check the tracking number, you find something out. First of all, it doesn't tell what's been mailed. It just gives you a tracking number that the package was picked up in Minnesota and is en route to Atlanta, Georgia. It doesn't say what it is. And it also doesn't say who sent it. So anybody could have sent the book. So there's that. Not irrelevant. And it's also not insured. Now, if this is an $800 book that you're sending in the mail, you want to put insurance on it. So, there's that. But you got to remember a little bit about the history of this bunch. Now, these people claim to have a very, very, very important person as their connection. And this is not only Donald Trump or General Flynn or Lynn Wood or anybody else of this stature. There's somebody else. Somebody that's got worldwide powers, according to them. And that is none other than the postmaster of the world. Now, you would think that if Randy were to pick up the phone and call the postmaster of the world, that he could find the book and he could get it to Linwood. That is, if there is such a thing as the postmaster of the world. Of course, we all know that there is no such thing, but they brag about it. This guy's supposed to have a patent on the United States flag, the gold fringe version or something, you know. Go back in the Wayback Machine and read about all that nonsense. So the postmaster of the world should be able to find that stupid book and get it to Linwood. Now, as I said, I have 2 copies of the book. I picked one up through a commercial book selling site, and I picked the other one up because somebody gave me the damn thing. I flew up to Atlanta and picked it up. I happened to be in Atlanta. Person said, "Hey, you want a copy of the book? Give me $20. You got it." So I went out to Atlanta, left $20, picked up the book, and away I went. So I've got $1,500 worth of books. So how about them apples? But, you know, this is just more of this foolishness out of these people. You know, the right up there with the fish people and the lizard people and the clones and all this other hogwash they come up with. Now, in the many ramblings that Randy made, as she is so concerned about me and my welfare, she got into this thing with this task force username. And she said she's been replaced. Now, did she get fired? Or did she just back away from being the task force? And she says she hasn't been on my chat in several weeks. So, if this is the case, who has been coming in to my chat and using the first person, which is saying I this, I that, I this, I that, not she this, she that, when bragging about getting security clearance in order to get her real estate license renewed, and that she got her real estate license renewed, and that she's wealthy, and. All this time, this impersonator has been lying about being task force, using the task force name, saying things as if they were the member of the high command. Now, this is an interesting defense. Now, remember, Randy is saying that it is not her, that it is somebody else using her name, her known username, to when she was the task force. What has Timmy Hoffa and her been using against me? What is the latest headline on Timmy Hoffa's blog that's been there for going on 9 days? That there were text messages using my online username, bragging about raping children, stalking children in malls, and all this. And I have stated for years that that is not me, that somebody impersonated me. And so now we have Randy making that same claim, that it is not her in my live stream chat, that if task force were to come in to my live stream chat on Saturday, that it is not her, that she has been replaced, and that she has never been in my chat. It's right there on her Facebook page. So she has just acknowledged my defense that I did not make statements to where I'm going around raping kids or stalking them at malls. That is not me. Never was me. Law enforcement investigated that and said it's not me. And I've cited dozens of times as to why it's not me. And so have experts in computer forensics that have gone on the internet and stated that it is not me. That it is instead people from the home base of QAnon, 4chan. Same people. They were the ones that created it with the help of a confessed pedophile. And this has been documented and known by Timmy Hoffa for a decade. And he refuses to acknowledge it. And this Randy person refuses to acknowledge it as well. Because if Randy is that much of a detective that she's checked out my personal information, my financial information, my home address, all my contact information that she claims she's going to put out on the internet, then she knows that the Lake County Sheriff's Department and the Leesburg City Police Department investigated those chats and declared that they're fraudulent, they're counterfeit, and proved nothing. They cannot tie me to those chats because I didn't make them. They checked my IP address, they checked my registration with PalTalk. They checked all of that. And it doesn't add up. There is no record that chat ever took place. And Timmy knows this. He's been shown this. And he ignores it because it's exculpatory evidence that blows his claims out of the water. But now, along comes Randy. Says, I've been replaced. Whoever's been coming into your chat as me is not me. I am not on your chat. I don't go in your chat. Yeah, I call you filthy Mert and all this stuff, but I don't go in your chat. So there you are, folks. Proof of what I've been saying all along. I'm innocent. I always have been innocent. And Randy just proved it. So since the task force is a fraud, and the task force does not represent the person they claim to represent, they are not going to be allowed on the chat. If task force shows up on the chat, they will be muted and they will be banned. So they've been forewarned. Because I will not have impersonators in my room. If I see somebody violating my rules, they will be banned. My chat is not a democracy. I, and I alone, determine who is going to speak in the room and what they are going to say. And if they don't say anything, if they say something I don't like, they are going to be muted and they will be banned. Period. Now, there's only 18 people in that chat at any one time anyway, so there's no reason for the trolls to be there. They can go start their own chat. You know, they can go out and start a YouTube channel. They don't need to be in my room. They can go over to the BitChute account and praise their God. And they can go over to Parler. They can go over to Gab. There's a million places these people can go. They don't need to come in my chat and disrupt it. I'm not important anyway, according to Randy. Nobody cares. So there's no reason for task force or any of these other idiots to be in my room. So go find somebody else to pester and to troll and to harass and to stalk. Because it's soon coming to an end where I discuss these morons and grifters on a regular basis because they're no longer important. They have shown themselves to be frauds because nothing they have predicted has come true. Oh, yeah, they're on there saying that Trump is going to be acquitted in this impeachment. And to tell you the truth, I would be perfectly surprised if they could find 17 Republicans to vote against Trump in the impeachment. Because it's it's a farce, actually. Because these Republicans are putting party over country. They don't care about what happened at the Capitol. They don't care that policemen died and policemen got injured, and that Mike Pence became, within less than a minute of being executed. They had a gallows all set to go. Nobody cares about that. So President Trump is not adjudicated guilty in the second impeachment. I'm not going to be surprised. This is all going to be over by Sunday at the latest. The defense only took 3 hours today, and it was a ridiculous defense. They're being laughed at by every lawyer in the country. But that's fine, because a lot came out in this trial. And it doesn't matter if Trump gets adjudicated guilty or not. Everything that happened is a matter of record. Everybody knows now who stands for what in this country, and they can make up their own minds. Like I said, I generally don't get political, but what's going on in Congress right now is not political. It's a question about whether or not people can decide to just overthrow the government by force. And apparently it's going to be decided with a resounding yes, and we may have a repeat of what happened, because nobody seems to care. And it's like I've said, this is beginning to look like the end of democracy in this country. And QAnon and people like QAnon are the reason why. And all of you who support this sort of thing, be careful what you wish for, because all you have to do is look at Russia to see what happens when these kind of insurrections take place. Because Russia's what we're going to have. It may not be communism, but it is going to be something quite close. And your business about free speech, not going to happen. There's going to be less free speech when this is done with. And there's already voter suppression going on because the white supremacists don't want minorities to vote. So they're going to put a stop to that. So, that's what you want. That's what you want. I don't care. Like I said, I'm 70 years old. So that means that I'm that much closer to the day I assume room temperature. Push daisies or something. And all you people that are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on, you can live with it. You can enjoy the fruits of your labor. So have at it. But aside from this brief political interlude, I'm just going to conclude with this. I am thinking very seriously about temporarily closing down the live stream portion of my chat. A lot's going to depend on what happens Saturday. Saturday is a busy day for me. I have a lot that I have to get accomplished in one day because I'm busy during the rest of the week. And the chat takes away from that. And I'm only getting 18 people, maybe 20. And like I said, 2 or 3 of those are trolls intent on destroying the chat. It is actually more efficient for me to do these mobilethons than it is for me to do the chat, because I can keep on subject. I don't have people constantly interrupting me with nonsense, asking about people's college tuition, asking about people's underwear, and that sort of thing. The chat is beginning to turn into something like a joke, and I just don't have time to babysit. So, if the trolls come in tonight to my chat, it may be the end of it for a while. Because there's really nothing going on. There's no trials, nothing of any importance. It's all outside stuff. So, the 6-day-a-week mobilethons might be the future of the YouTube channel for a while. We'll see. Never know with these people what'll crop up. But I am going to start. One thing I am going to do, because we're getting pretty close to a major event, is I'm going to start talking about Percy. And so probably Sunday or in the next couple days after the Saturday chat, I will probably be speaking more and more about Percy. I may even touch upon Percy Saturday. Just depends on how things go. So I would suggest that you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, and stay tuned as we go forth one day at a time in our little adventures. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.